Alrighty, so hello everybody. Welcome to the 57th edition of BS Back in the Shed. I am back again. My name is Wes, and introducing my fellow co-host. Please introduce yourself. ...
Oh, my bad, dude. I was spacing hard. I'm here. I'm Infocate. You all know who I am. I was spacing really hard. Someone sent me a message, and I was trying to read it. I couldn't understand it, and it derailed my whole train of thought. It was in some gibberish, and it just the message was like, my friend said, "I need help." He's like, "Can you tell me how to beat the Ukikabuki?" And I'm like, the what? He said, "The Ukikabuki." I'm like, "Well, what's that?" And he said, "It's in Stonkwonks." I'm like, "What is that?" And he said, "It's the three-eyed Ukikabuki." And I'm like, "I don't know what that is, man."
Bruh.
And it derailed my thought process because I don't know what an Ukikabuki is. I don't know what Stonkwonks is. And he said it had a long tongue. I'm confused. I don't know.
See, yeah, he was just leading you down a bad path, man. Clearly.
He confused me so bad, dude.
I see that. He really confused you. He swung you for a loop. He completely derailed your train of thought, and yep, your brain went to mush. So yeah, welcome to BS Back in the Shed, where Info gets very confused, I get very confused. We are the smartest podcasters alive.
Yeah, no kidding.
What's been going on the past week for you, Info? You're super excited in life.
A little bit busy here, a little bit busy there. I've been staying at home a lot more because I've been trying to avoid death, called sickness, and the flu's just running rampant in the stores. It's so bad, and I'm over it. If you know,
I feel you.
Just over it.
I feel you. It is what it is, man. The flu is the worst thing to possibly happen. Actually, I think I have a sickness-related topic. Let's see. Where is it? Where be my sickness topic? I don't immediately see it. That's a shame.
That's unfortunate.
It is a shame. I have it somewhere. Unless I didn't save it. If it wasn't good enough, I probably may not have saved it. But I did read something about sickness today. Something about the coronavirus. Something about it. What did the coronavirus do? That was noticeable enough news that I remember it a little bit. But oh, also, while we're talking about random shit, you know, the Epic Game Store continues to release these free games. And this week, I will show, let's see, turn on screen share. Oh, Discord broke. No, it didn't. Discord did not break. Congratulations, Discord. You didn't break for once. Kingdom Come Deliverance is free currently. The regular edition, not the Royal Edition, but this is free. So this is something you want. You want to do something like you want to sign in. Unlike me, I'm not signed in currently, but the lovely people are going to want to sign in and get their free games, because who doesn't love free games? Even if you're not going to play them. Then you have this Aztez game, which I don't really know what that is, and it looks pretty but, you know. The video is literally broken.
Yeah,
The video to this game is broken as hell. So if that tells you about the quality of this game that released in 2017 that I've never heard of before, I don't know what will. I don't know what else could tell you about this game. But it's free.
Fantastic.
It's free, so clearly you want free. And free is good. Free is life. Free is the way of the people. I'm all about free. Even if I'm not a big Epic Game Store person, I'll take free games. Because maybe I'll play them, maybe I won't. But you never know if you don't buy. And weren't you saying that Kingdom Come Deliverance was a good game to have for free?
Yes, actually. Um, yeah, it's not okay. So here's my take on Kingdom Come. It's not bad. It's just shit.
It's
That's just
not
how it is.
bad. It's just shit.
Yeah, and I mean it's definitely worth having for free. Definitely worth having for free. Um, I mean it has potential to be really fun. I just didn't get to play it that much.
That's fair. Weren't we in a voice chat when you played a little bit of it?
Yes.
I remember this. This is something I remember. I feel like I remember you struggling with something, and it was something very basic.
Okay, so what it was the game wants you get to a certain part and it wants you to fist fight. It wants you to it wants you to it's like, hey, put up your dukes, we yeeting, we rocking. And it's like, aight, cool. And then yeah, you know, the fist fighting on there is terrible because it wants you to fist fight guys with swords.
I mean, don't you know you always bring your fist to a knife fight?
It's a sword fight. It's not even knives. I can handle knives.
You bring your fist to any sharp weapon fight, clearly.
Yes, like we'll see with the knife fight, you might lose a couple fingers, but you can still win. With a sword fight, there goes much more than a finger or two.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a fight you want to be in, for sure. It is going to lead to bad things for you, bad things overall, all across your world, clearly. So, it's definitely a game you want for free, though. It may frustrate you a little bit. It'll probably frustrate me if I ever play it. I mean, I should play it. Maybe I will. I was looking at the games I've been streaming this month, because you know me, I look at numbers a lot. And maybe it's not always numbers, oh, how is this doing? I like data. So I bring up data a lot. And so I looked at, okay, let's see, do I have the sticky notes still? I was like, okay, what games, how much time have I put into these games this month? I made a list of all the games I've played this month and how much I put into them on Twitch, on stream, for this month. And I'm like, okay. Also, apparently all my sticky notes are gone besides one. That is fucked. I just lost a lot of sticky notes for some unknown reason.
That's not good?
That's not good. I lost a lot of sticky notes that I needed. Alright. I think that's the second time that's actually happened to me as well, so I need a different app for that since I'm losing my sticky notes often. And then I broke it down by genre. And it's like, I've played so many hours of action games this month that whatever I play after Xenoverse and Assassin's Creed 1 and Metal Gear Rising and are done, it doesn't need to be an action game. I've played so much action game this month, and for me, how I feel is I want to play a variety of games, and a part of that is looking at what kind of games you're playing and then diversifying when you can. And there are definitely non-action games you can play. And so that's what I want to do with the remainder of the month once I get through with Xenoverse, Assassin's Creed, and Metal Gear Rising. I don't know, that just makes sense to me.
I could see that viewpoint. I could definitely see that viewpoint. Variety's definitely a good thing in gaming. I admit that most of my games that I play are action games, so that wouldn't work for me. I do enjoy a good puzzle game though, but I've already played them all that I own, so rip.
Oh, I know how to pull it up. I can't. It's another thing I posted on Discord, which thankfully I posted on Discord, but I can't look at it on my computer without it breaking. So for the record, I've put this month 41 hours and 20 minutes into action games. It's the most of any genre. Next up would be fighting, which is 15 hours, 8 minutes. FPS, 12 hours, 20 minutes. Adventure, 11 hours, 30 minutes. And then it goes down to like 2 hours. And I don't know. It's just something I want to keep track of and be like, okay, this is what I've been doing this month. I don't want to become, oh, this is a streamer that just does like action games or just does this kind of game. I want to be the true variety streamer. And a part of that for me is looking at data like that and be like, okay, I've played a lot of this, this, and this, so let me try and find something that's outside of that, or that to play.
Yeah, I can get that. I can understand that. It does make you kind of wonder though, if like, if you like, what type of games do you own the most? Like, because you kind of want to space it out between what you actually own as well, because like, you know, if you try and even everything out, but you got way more of one than the other, then you're going to run into problems with that as well, because you're not going to be able to.
I'm not necessarily trying to even it out. Like, I don't want to keep up with it all the time. I don't want to constantly update it after every stream. I mean, I would like to update, like, what game I put the most time into. I'd like to update that every stream. I think that's kind of a cool stat. But genre-wise, I think it's just good to look at, like, towards the middle of the month and be like, okay, this is what you've done the first half of the month. Let's try and not do the exact same thing the second half of the month. Let's try, once you have the ability to switch games, like, okay, a good example, I'll reveal the next game I wanted to play. Cause I really like what I've been doing with Assassin's Creed and Xenoverse, where I do Assassin's Creed until I hit a point like, okay, I do an assassination, and in Assassin's Creed 1, it's very repetitive, so it's like 9 different assassinations you do, and it takes like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to do. And then you do that, you hit a checkpoint-like thing, which is not, like, the only checkpoint, but it's like, okay, this is a check mark in the game, pretty much. And so, I like playing a game for, like, 90 to 2 hours, and then switching to a game like Xenoverse that's going to take more time to beat. And then doing that for the remainder of the stream. I like that idea a lot. So, with that in mind, after I beat Assassin's Creed, which should be tomorrow, honestly. It may not be tomorrow, it may be Saturday. I don't know. I'm going to move on to The Wolf Among Us, which is not an action game. That's a good example of a game. Because that's the thing. Like, you hear the word action, and you think, oh, so a game that has no violence. Not necessarily. Just not one that's its primary focus. The Wolf Among Us, it has combat scenes. It has combat a little bit. But as a Telltale game, it's not an action game. And I think it's a good way to diversify the games you're playing.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
And if I just play an episode's not going to take too long. And I thought about this and I debated, like, okay, would people rather you do the whole thing in one stream or a couple streams, or split it up a bit more? I feel like, if you think about the long-term picture, assume that not everyone can make it to every stream. And that, what if they want to catch up? If you do the whole thing at once, sure. But, like, if you just do an episode, and then you switch to another game, like, if you streamed, and you streamed, like, The Walking Dead, Season 1, and I couldn't catch Episode 1, and I stopped in at Episode 3, and I'm like, oh, I'd rather watch from the beginning. I'd rather enable people the ability to do that, whether it be with the stream archive, or the VOD on Twitch for the first, like, 16 days or whatever. I'd rather they have that option instead of, oh, now you're like 3 hours into your stream and you're on like episode 2 or 3. I'd rather just give people a little bit of time to catch up if they want.
Yeah, that's absolutely understandable entirely. I would honestly, that should be the way people do it with any episodes, really. I think Life is Strange though. When I watched it, I think a lot of people done it in one run, and that game is kind of long.
It is,
and I don't know. I really enjoyed it, but like these are episodes that I had to watch multiple times. So I mean,
I have watched The Walking Dead Season 1. No doubt. Like, I'm not joking. I've probably watched a Let's Play or played it myself 20 times. It's fucking insane. I know that game like the back of my hand.
You know, I've actually never seen that game before.
No other Telltale or any episodic game is like that, but everyone that I used to watch as a kid did Telltale The Walking Dead Season 1. Everyone did it. And I watched everyone play it. So I watched it, and then I watched whoever may stream it later on down the road, and then I played it myself 2 times. So yeah. Whew. I have my fill of Telltale Season 1 of The Walking Dead, for sure. But yeah, I just feel like if it's an episodic game, and I feel like it benefits my stream to do a short game at first, or like an episodic game and just do an episode, and then switch over to something that takes up the remainder of the stream. I like that. I've been liking it with Assassin's Creed and Xenoverse, and I want to utilize that with other games. Not every game you're going to be able to do that, but something like The Wolf Among Us that's episodic, you can easily do that.
It's true. You can. I also think that how do you feel about doing the episodes continuously, like back to back to back, or like you think you should do an episode then something in between an episode, then something in between, and so on and so forth, or like space it out, or should you do them back to back?
What I am considering doing is, like, for example, let's say I beat Assassin's Creed today, but I'm still playing Xenoverse.
Mm-hmm.
Under this plan, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to do episode 1 of The Wolf Among Us tomorrow to begin the stream, beat episode 1, switch to Xenoverse, do that for the rest of the stream, and then on Saturday, do episode 2. And so on and so forth. That's my idea.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
I was just curious what you thought on it, because I know some people like rapid fire them, like they'll do an episode, then another, then another, then another, then another, rapid fire.
When I streamed, I don't know if it was the 14-hour stream or the 12-hour stream, I did The Walking Dead. I did, like, episode 2 through 5, pretty much back to back. But I definitely like the idea of just spacing it out more.
Yeah, I do too. It gives people a break so they don't get burnt out on it.
And that's how I felt. That's exactly why I did what I did with Assassin's Creed 1. Because that game is... Assassin's Creed 1. It's not all bad. But it's unpolished. It's very repetitive. Everything about it's fucking repetitive besides the main story, which is like probably 5 to 10% of the screen time. So it's like, god damn. It gets fucking old quick. So that's why I've been splitting it up so much. But I think it's worked. I mean, for me at least, it's worked. I've enjoyed it. I've not lost my temper with it and wanted to quit, because I only play a little bit of it every day. So, I think it's worked. And it inspired me to want to do it with other games. And that's kind of what I'm up to for the past week, really, when it comes to what I've been up to. It's just streaming, doing pretty much Assassin's Creed, Xenoverse, and then on Tuesday, doing the fan-requested Doom.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So, did you see how much Sony paid for Insomniac Games?
No, I didn't.
$229 million. Not bad, not bad.
Wow. I mean, I guess time will tell if that's a good buy or not, if it'll pay off, but I think it is.
I mean, Insomniac's PlayStation 4 exclusive Spider-Man game, at the time of the studio sale, the game has sold more than 13.2 million copies.
Did they?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Spider-Man was a big success on the PS4. Yeah, it did pretty good, man. It may not have been everyone's favorite game. Oh, I found the topic from earlier. Found it. But anyway. It was next up on my tab list. So I found it. But yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was a big success. Considering what other games do.
I mean, as someone who played Spider-Man but didn't beat it, it was fun, but I hated the combat to it to a degree.
Isn't it Batman Arkham combat?
Meh. Ish. I don't know, kind of, but kind of not.
Fair. How is it different?
I mean, it feels similar. It's just, I guess it's just because I was playing with a PlayStation controller. which is the worst controller ever made. And yeah,
I like the PlayStation 4 controller.
I don't like any PlayStation controller.
Are they too small for you?
I just don't like how they feel. I don't like the joystick placement. I don't like the buttons on them. I mean, well, the buttons ain't really that bad, but like, I guess because like my Xbox controller has a D-pad above or like underneath my joystick. Yeah, you can see it there. It's just the layout of it, and just the PS4 controller. Just to me, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I just had both controllers within arm's reach, so I figured I'd just show them both as an example. I'm sure the Xbox One looks a slightly different than the 360, but you know, close enough. They didn't completely redo it last time. But yeah, I mean, I like both. It takes getting used to, because with one being like that and the other being more right here, it's definitely, it takes a couple minutes of adjusting. Besides that, it's all good.
Mint.
Yep. So, the Outer Worlds port to the Nintendo Switch has been delayed due to the coronavirus impacting the porting studio.
Damn.
That was my coronavirus story this week. That I couldn't find it because it was titled The Outer Worlds port, so I didn't see it because the coronavirus wasn't at the top. But that's what it was. Yeah, pretty much. Damn. And the physical is going to have a cartridge as well, the physical version.
You know, if you lick the Nintendo Switch cartridges, they taste extremely bad.
Why would you lick them?
It's they have a chemical in them that makes them taste extremely bad on purpose to make it so that if a baby gets it and puts it in its mouth, they'll spit it out.
I mean, that's fair. I don't.
I've not licked one. Okay, so let's get this straight.
Okay, that was good clarification, because that was very suspicious info.
I have not gone around licking my Nintendo Switch cartridges. No, I've not.
That was very suspicious.
I tricked my friend into licking his.
Ooh, you're a great person.
Yes, I told him, I was like, dude, they put a special chemical in these Nintendo Switch games. He's like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, they're supposed to taste good. He's like, oh, no way. I'm like, yeah, dude. He's like, oh, dude. And he took one out. He's like, oh, I fucking lied to me, you asshole. I'm like, well, I guess we know now it doesn't taste good. He's like, I hate you. I was like, yeah, well.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about how Spider-Man had, what, over 13.2 million sales?
Mm-hmm.
The Outer Worlds has shipped over 2 million units. And the reaction to the Outer Worlds, now that it's been out for a little bit, it's very interesting to me. The consensus seems to be, if there wasn't an Obsidian bias, because people definitely, it's like, oh, this is made by Obsidian, and that automatically gives them a positive lean before the game came out. Obviously, people were skeptical, but the vibe was more positive, because there was an Obsidian positive bias. But now that it's been a few months, I feel like people have come to the conclusion that it's not a bad game, but it's not Fallout New Vegas. It's not. It's just. It's a decent, fine game. That seems to be the consensus that I'm reading.
Okay. So, here's my take on this game. Is I've played it. I didn't beat it, but I played it. That's going to be a general running theme with these games. I played them, but I've not beat them. If you actually manage to ever hear me say I beat the game, might as well give me a round of applause on that one. I don't beat the damn things. Yeah, like that. They don't happen often, but I have played it. I played it a good bit, and I've gotten to this one part in the game, and it's just, I was having a lot of fun with it up until this part, and it just, oh my god, it went from like really cool to like,
holy shit.
It's so stale. Like, it like, Imagine sailing in a boat and you just got this like big gust of wind and you're just going, and then you just get in the middle
What?
of it, and then out of nowhere, dead zone, just nothing. That's exactly what's happened in this game. We was going good, it was really fun, and then I hit this area and it's just like, bleh.
Now, let me ask the question that I feel like it goes back to what I was saying. Do you think you had fun at the beginning because the beginning was very good compared to the rest of the game, or do you think it was a positive bias going in that led you to have fun at the beginning?
Okay, so
Or a mixture?
I've never played New Vegas. I don't have that emotional attachment to Obsidian.
That's
I
fair.
don't have any attachment to them. I genuinely thought the beginning of the game was a lot of fun. It's got a lot of quirkiness to it. The comedic aspect of it was pretty decent, and you know, just they to me they done it really good. What made the area so stale that I'm currently in, and I'm sure if I get past it, it'll pick back up and be fine again. The game seems solid,
Yeah.
but what's made this good?
I was just gonna say, yeah, the consensus seems to be it's decent or fine or, you know, not negative. People aren't saying it's a bad game. It's just not great. It's just fine.
See, the problem that I've got is with it personally, with this particular area, is it's just it's an empty area. Like there's just nothing really around it. You have to go up to this like building, you have to sneak inside, and the map region itself is just extremely hollow. You just kind of go up this like really long path that leads to this building. There's nothing really to fight along the way. There's no hidden anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's just landscape, and you're just traversing it.
Yeah.
And it took me like a good 10 minutes to get from point A to point B, crossing this landscape where there's nothing. And by the time I got there, I was already done with it. And then you have to do this mission, and then you find out you can't because of some dumb shit. And then it's like, oh, you got to traverse it all the way back to get to this place. I'm like, okay, cool. Traverse it all the way back to where it wants me to go. Take the secret route that magically opens up. You complete the objective, and then you pop back out because you can't go back the secret route. You pop out inside of this building you was trying to get to, and it's like, well, you're done. You got to go all the way back and talk to that person. You go all the way back and talk to that person. Well, we want to garner a deal with that person, that building that you just trekked from. Can you go all the way back and talk to them for me? Sure, buddy. Turn around and go all the way back over there. Talk to the person, and they're like, very well, we will have a deal. Go all the way back over there and let them know that I've agreed to this. At this point, I'm ready to cut both their fucking heads off and just be done with it. I'm ready to move on. And as I started down this path again for another 10-minute trek, I realized, fuck this, and I quit playing. And I've not really picked it back up since because I'm just kind of over it at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I have those moments when streaming a game like Metal Gear Rising where it isn't because it's boring, it's just because the game does something that causes a negative emotion, and it's like, okay, my emotional bank account, eventually it empties. Metal Gear Rising has emptied that bank account twice, and I keep giving it another chance. I mean, the fact is, whenever I beat Metal Gear Rising, it's still getting a 0 for me on likability. Because I've legitimately stopped playing it for weeks twice, and the only reason I'm coming back to it is because I want to beat it. That's the only reason I keep coming back to it. So I'm giving it a 0 for likability, for me, personally. Just because the game pushed my shit in the whole time, and it doesn't let you change the difficulty down. I set it to, it's like easy, normal, hard. I generally feel like easy's too easy on games. Generally, I want a middle setting between easy and normal. That's generally what I would prefer in most games. That's generally the setting I'm looking for, is somewhere in the middle. But I always try and start on normal, because I don't want to start on easy and just run through everything. But normal was too much generally, so I'm like, okay, I want to switch to easy. Nope. If you want to switch difficulties, you've got to start from the very beginning. That's fucking trash.
See, I feel like that's kind of like my issue with you know, my issue with the other game I was talking about. It's not so much of it's bad. It's just what it wants you to do in the event of these things is they're just too long. It wouldn't be so bad if you could like shorten it up a bit.
Yep.
But you can't,
Yep.
and it's just rip, R.I.P. Dunzo.
Absolutely.
It's really tedious when a game makes you have to it wouldn't be quite so bad if they have like ways to shorten it, but
Uh-huh.
when it's a dead set, ma'am, you trekking boy, then come on, cut us a break. Don't make us do it over and over and over again.
For sure. That's definitely not a good thing. So, do you remember how last week we talked about Steam had the most numbers of people being on that they ever had before?
I did not.
You do not remember us talking about Steam breaking their record?
Oh, that then yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, with the most people. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a sequel to this. It's not Steam, but it is a Steam game that has beaten its all-time concurrent players peaked. The record was 854,801 all-time peak, and this was August 21st, 2012. Now, they've beaten it at 876,575 with the expectation that it's going to break again because of the fact that Steam's on the rise again. And that game would be CSGO. There they are. They're peaking again. They're hitting a new peak.
Of course they are.
Now, CSGO may not be the game for me because people take it way too fucking seriously. It's, as Infu says, it's not that serious.
It's not that serious.
And as a new player playing CSGO, immediately I was given negative vibes because I wasn't doing what they wanted me to do. And now, I can admit that I definitely was not playing how, in theory, you should. I can see that for my first few hours. I wasn't really working well with the team. I was just trying to learn the controls and such, which he would argue, oh, you shouldn't play whatever mode then, which, whatever. I'd rather not play against bots, frankly. I'd rather just actually play against people and get real experience and learn on the fly. But people didn't like that on my team generally. They didn't appreciate it. But, you know. People just take it too seriously, man.
They do. People take gaming in general too seriously. Like, games are meant to have fun. And people are just over here just way too serious. And it's not that serious. There's a reason I say it all the time. It's just not, you know?
Yep. That's why I made it a command in my chat, which, by the way, if anyone's in the chat, you can always type !MadBro, and it'll say it's not that serious, Wes. It's a reminder that it's not that serious. And sometimes I need that reminder. Sometimes games are just annoying me too much. And it's not that serious. Sometimes you just need the reminder it's not that serious. So yeah. Take Two says it's hard to say whether or not the Game Pass helped or hurt the Outer Worlds. Do you have an opinion on if you think it helped or hurt the Outer Worlds? I mean, it did hit 2 million sales. And, I mean, they did say where they want to be. Like, it sold more than 2 million units. It's won 75 Game Awards.
Well, the thing about it is, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Because this is how, to me, it being in the Game Pass both helps and hurts it.
Yeah.
Because it lets more people experience the game, and they're more likely to tell their friend about it. Like, hey, you know, this what up, though, and at the same time, it depends on how much Microsoft is paying them to have the game in the pass. I don't know how much Microsoft pays for these licenses to put them in the pass like that. So if it's not as much as them selling the individual copies, yes, it hurts them. I couldn't possibly imagine that being the case though. But I don't know. That's a tough call.
It is. It's definitely a thing where you can see both sides of it. You can see how it could, in fact, be an issue. But at the same time, they did get 2 million units. I feel like if I had to nail why I wouldn't buy it, why I would not buy it, although I'm a big fan of Fallout, I'm a big fan of Elder Scrolls, I'm a big RPG fan. That kind of game is something I'm really into. And I told you this, I've said it on the podcast many times in the past. My biggest issue heading in was the lack of third person. That completely took my excitement for the game away. And now seeing that it wasn't even the Super Fallout Elder Scrolls Game of the Year-ish thing, you know. I don't seem to have lost here. So that's a very interesting thing.
It is.
Do you play many Need for Speed games?
I played every one of them.
How do you... Okay, so this will be something you may or may not have an opinion on then. I expected you to not have an opinion on this topic. But... Sure. EA will move Need for Speed development back to the Criterion people. I don't know how the fuck you say their name, but the people that used to do the games back a little bit ago before they switched it up for whatever reason. How does that make you feel? Do you think that's a good change, a bad change?
Depends on what kind of changes come with it. The people who had Need for Speed before the guys who have it now, they done a really good job. There was a lot of it. Need for Speed Underground, I think it was, is one of the most critically acclaimed Need for Speeds ever made. They are absolutely loved. It's a loved game. So if they can find that, if the people who get it back, if they get it back and they can recreate that underground vibe to it, then I'm 100% okay with it. Because the last Need for Speeds have been kind of trash. The new one that just come out, I vibe with it.
Which one's the new one again?
1 second, I'll tell you. Yeah, I actually pre-ordered the game. It is called Need for Speed Heat.
Nice.
And I vibe with it. It's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed playing it. Just like all other games, I didn't beat it. But you know, it's a lot of fun. Story's a little bit corny to it, but the last ones before this one, though, besides the 2015 one, in my opinion, was kind of bad. I also call it had some crashing problems and just overall wasn't that great. So I'm kind of impartial to the older ones because all of them that I played were really fun compared to these. I've had mixed emotions going into them.
Yeah.
So it's been a hit or miss. So if they can get that old formula back, I will have a very positive attitude. If they continue to just shuck out the shit that's been put out recently, well, I mean, it ain't really gonna matter who has it at that point.
Nope. Not really. But I feel like Need for Speed, they kind of have their peaks, and then they kind of go down a little bit. Then they come back up a little bit, and then they come back down. I feel like it's definitely a rocky road with Need for Speed games. They're not consistently good or bad. They seem to always bounce around. Would you agree with that observation?
100%. I would.
Because that's just generally the vibe I get when I hear people talking about the Need for Speed games. It's like, oh, 1 year it's like, oh, this was a really good game. People really like it. And then the next year it's like, not really. And then next year it's like, oh, it got better again. Then, oh, this one's fucking trash, man. Don't play this one. It just goes all over the place.
Problem is they. Oh,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So with the last Need for Speeds or whatever, what made them so annoying with like Need for Speed Pursuit, I think it was, where you get to play as a cop or whatever. it was, to my understanding, entirely online, and I tried to play it, and it was just the cops were unfair. It was unbalanced, and they never fixed it. And they had a lot of crashing problems, and yeah, that made for a bad time. I like the concept of it. I like being able to play as the cop or the other guys, and that to me is it's lit. The rest of it, not so much.
That
And
makes
then the one that came after it had a lot of crashing problems. Payback.
Ah.
It crashed my whole entire console. It literally crashed my Xbox. So definitely crashing problems. But other than that, it was alright. I enjoyed playing it. 2015 was probably my favorite of the ones released in recent times. Then next is Heat, which is pretty solid. I like it. I'm not really got no complaints with it. But the main problem they all seem to have is balance problems. Like even the new one, there's two different ways you can race, during the day and during the night. During the day is the street legal portion of the racing, and then at nighttime is the giggity giggity go boys, let's do it.
Nice.
Yeah. But the problem is the cops during the giggity giggity go hours is they broken. They are impossible to beat after a certain point. You just can't get away from them. Dad, I love you too. That was unexpected.
It's good to love your family.
It is. But yeah.
When you see your father viewers or your mother, whichever parent you'd like, tell them you love them.
Whichever one you like.
Yeah, whichever one you like. How about, have we completely derailed your thought there? Did that completely derail you?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is it lost? Do we need to move on to something else, or can you bring it back?
Yep, let's just go ahead. Nah, my head's done. That was a done deal.
All right, so I'm gonna show you a picture of this person before I tell you what she did.
All right.
And I want you to guess at what this person did.
Took meth.
Oh yeah.
Exactly what. I mean, I would. She looks like someone that took some. She looks like she done some drugs of some sort. But
so your vibe is she's a meth head.
Well, yes, but her crime against Skyrim and its people is most likely she got caught robbing a store. She also looks like she's blind in one eye. She got a lot going on for her.
Fuck.
Yeah, like look at her. Like look at her left eye. She got that shine to it, and then her right eye looks dead. It looks like a marble.
Maybe they only shine light in one eye.
I still ain't helping her case any. She's still blind in one eye, I guarantee it. But, yeah, no.
So you think she's a meth head that robbed someone?
Just yeah, probably. I mean, maybe anything. See, my philosophy is anything is possible, but I'm sure it involves McDonald's.
So your theories are meth, robbery, McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, you're not completely wrong. You are wrong in some areas, but your very first observation, this is a first grade teacher that was arrested for trying to buy meth while at school. So you got the meth part right.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Oh, and by the way, the most important part. We normally talk about Florida man or Florida woman. This is Florida teacher. We've never talked about a Florida teacher before. This is Florida teacher.
Oh my, Florida teacher coming in to save the day.
This is the people that teach Florida man and Florida woman. This is the people. This is it.
She is in charge of raising the generations of Floridians.
Yes, exactly. That is completely correct. And you see, someone had contacted, this person, not very bright, had contacted an undercover narcotics officer, and tried to set up a deal to buy an 8-ball of methamphetamine while she was at the elementary school, where she teaches first grade. And, She
Remember
attempted to talk
kids?
to multiple people. What?
I was gonna say, remember kids? Let's see, what? How did it go? It was like, do your drugs, stay in milk, and don't do school, kids. Something like that. And she looks like she did all three properly.
Now, obviously, since it was an undercover officer and confidential informants who were making this deal because they were baited. I think that's the proper thing here. They absolutely baited this person. They waited because they did not want to deliver the drugs to that school. That was something they didn't want. But the teacher had no issue with that. That was something that was on the table for her. She was all okay with dealing the meth to school. So they waited for her to get off work at the school and meet up with her to sell her 3.5 grams of methamphetamine. And after they made the sale, they arrested her. Now, to be fair, I want to pause the story here. To be fair, whoever sold that to her should also be arrested with the intent to sell meth. To be fair, under the law.
See, it's tough.
Guys, this is an extreme example. I do this a lot. I bring extreme examples that don't really go together, but it's what comes to my head. Imagine if an undercover officer pushed you, gave you a gun, and baited you to shoot them. And then there's an officer around the corner ready to arrest you for murder if you do it. They're baiting you to do something. Now, would you do this without the bait? Probably. This person was going to buy meth regardless, yes. I can see the difference there. But they're still baiting you into the situation here.
Yeah, they are. I mean...
And what they're doing, they have a special exception to break the law. But they're also breaking the law by selling it.
They are indeed.
So...
those heinous fiends.
I think everyone here is guilty of something.
Guilty.
Off with all their heads.
Yeah, off with their heads.
All of them.
I have the pocket sword ready to go.
She later admitted to using meth 10 times within the last 6 months. The undercover officers worked with the police, the public school system during the investigation. That way, her credentials were revoked and she was fired. And they said they couldn't positively say that she was using drugs at school, but she can say during phone calls her intentions were.
Man, could you imagine getting a phone call or whatever and it's like, hey, you want to buy some meth? Like, I would die laughing.
Would you say yes?
Yeah, I'd agree.
You get arrested by these baiters.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I actually have a picture in my phone that I took a screenshot of from one of my local sheriff's offices around here. And basically it was on my Facebook feed, and it was talking about, oh, these drug dealers are selling faulty meth, or no, faulty pot. They're like, they're selling like fake pot, and if you bring it into the police station and let us, know that you have it, we'll clearly take care of it for you and attempt to arrest people.
Can't trust them with that. They will arrest you as well for having it.
Let's see.
Good guys die on the sword.
They do, man. It's like see, it's kind of fucked up in a sense because it's like
It really is.
it's like hey, man, you want your weed? Here it is. I found it.
Oh.
Yep. There you go.
One moment, I will. I'm playing with my luck. It almost crashed the one time. We'll see if it... Oh. Yeah, here we go. Scam alert. The Mint Hill Police Department has been made aware of a new scam that we weren't supposed to be aware of. Some untrustworthy drug dealers are using their cell phone instead of a certified scale to display the weight of the merchandise that they are selling. By placing the drugs on their cell phone, they can type in whatever weight they want, claiming it was a weight agreed upon during their transaction. Please do not become a victim of this crime. Contact us here at the Mint Hill Police Department and schedule to meet with one of our officers. We can assist you by weighing your purchase to ensure that you didn't get cheated out of what you paid for. AKA, they are also pulling a scam on you. See, the scam alert isn't what the original seller scam is. This is the police telling you they are scamming you as well. This is a long con scam. And they be scamming. They do be scamming.
They do. I just find that whole concept hilarious. Hey, kids, the bad drug people are selling you the wrong amount of drugs, so bring it to us, the good drug guys, and we'll take care of you.
We're the good drug guys. We'll slap you on the hand and tell you, oh, I understand. You didn't mean to buy this.
You didn't mean to buy the bad drugs. Let us fix that for you. Like, I'm actually dead over that. Like, it's ridiculous.
Now, the woman that did meth and wanted it in school, told the informant when her class started that she'd be willing to say she had an emergency phone call in order to leave the school grounds and use the meth. She said she would have returned the school with the intent for the drug dealers to deliver the meth to her boyfriend. I was going to say I could go out and meet you, but I can't. I would just have to go out and run back in. She said to an undercover informant on a recording, just call me when you're, because, you know, I work on 103rd. You call me and I can just say I have to use the phone real quick. I can step out and come right back in, or just come out at 11 on my lunch break, but I would prefer it before then. She needs her meth before lunch. And then, of course, she gives the name of the school. She says, no, I don't get my kids until 8:30, so I'm in my room by myself from 8 to 8:30. Of course, she was charged with possession of methamphetamine, which, to be fair, they did give her. They were also in possession of meth.
Fantastic.
She's been a teacher since the 2018-2019 school year. She's not taught at any of the school districts, and she will not work it anymore. So, yeah. She's no longer a teacher. All because Florida teacher wanted to do meth.
Man, who'd have ever thought that? Huh, don't worry, kids. It was only meth. I'm still properly able to take care of you. Why? What happened to your faces?
Yeah, what happened to you guys?
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? I can't see you anywhere.
I know the meth didn't hit that hard.
I know it didn't hit that hard. Speaking of scams, this next topic is basically a scam. The headline, I'll read the headline first. Man buys used Tesla with autopilot. Tesla remotely disables autopilot, saying not a feature that you had paid for. Now, this fellow, who identified as Alec, bought a Tesla at an auction, which was advertised as having enhanced autopilot and full self-driving mode. Soon, though, after he started driving the car, these features were deactivated without warning. He contacted Tesla and received the following explanation. Tesla has identified instances of customers being incorrectly configured for autopilot versions that they did not pay for. Since there was an audit done to correct these instances, your vehicle is one of the vehicles that was incorrectly configured for autopilot. We looked back at your purchase history, and unfortunately, full self-driving was not a feature that you had paid for. We apologize for the confusion. If you're still interested in having those additional features, we can begin the process of purchasing the upgrade. If Alec wants to get these software features reactivated, he'll have to pay Tesla $8,000 to get them to press a keyboard button. With a normal car's built-in features, even one that may depend on software, it's reasonable to think a technician or mechanic would need to physically access the car to remove it. Even with a technology product like a laptop or smartphone, updates generally can't be forcibly rolled back without the consent of the owner, unless the device has a special IT software installed. In those cases, the company generally owns the device or has the owner sign a legal agreement anyhow. Tesla's over-the-air updates have caused anxiety before. This kind of control by a car maker wasn't possible until recently, and Alec's situation raises questions about what used car owners can expect in the future. So, How do you feel about this? The man buys a Tesla in the auction, being told the features it had. He buys it with the intention of having those features, and then they get deactivated on him, and then they tell him it wasn't something he paid for.
You know, as much as the cars cost, I feel like the man deserves his. I feel like the man deserves his features. And like, how much does it even? Did it say how much it costed to even install them? If he did want to.
Well, it's not a matter of installing it. It's a button press. They deactivate it. It's something that's built into them all. But while they're built into them all, if you don't pay for the feature, they don't enable the feature. It'd be like, imagine if you bought a computer that had 8 gigs of RAM, but you only paid for the 2 gigs, so they disable the other 6.
The fuck? What the fuck?
Like, it's already on. They just pressed a button. It's like they pressed enter and deactivated your autopilot.
You know how shitty that would have to actually be, though? It's like, oh, yes, sir, you bought this fancy car here. It's got all the latest features inside of it.
But and now it's gone.
Yeah, and we've disabled them just for you. Because you didn't pay for our premium price.
That's amazing. Yeah, Tesla's definitely, this is not a good look for them. Like, what does that mean? That you can't sell your Tesla once you own it? And if you do, those people can't get all the benefits if they don't pay the exact price you paid? Can you not sell a Tesla that you own?
Can you not?
I mean, apparently this person sold it at an auction and couldn't get all the features without Tesla being a bitch. So, is this not something you can realistically do with Teslas without them throwing a fit? That makes no sense. That is not the direction vehicles need to be going in at all.
How did it get disabled from him owning it to the next person owning it?
Because
like, did he buy it at an auction from another person that already owned it, or was it a Tesla auction?
Yeah, they from someone else that owned it.
Well, if it was disabled for that person as well, then
no,
I mean, I guess
it was there for the auction. Like, it was there in the demo. Because they let people test it. It worked then. They turned it off after the auction. Well, a little bit after the auction. After this person bought it and such. And it was advertised as having these features. For the auction. So... pretty scummy.
Yeah, that's shit. That's terrible.
It really is terrible. It's very terrible. It's not what you want at all.
It's like me going to the store trying to like buy some 200 proof Everclear alcohol to get fucked up, and instead they give me Bud Light.
Well, you didn't pay for the 200 proof. Here's your Bud Light, man.
Yeah, like you get the Bud Light here. Like, here's your bottle of Smirnoff, sir, but you didn't pay the premium price. So instead, we filled it with Bud Light just for you.
Such dicks. Yeah, I don't know what Tesla really expects to gain from this. They're gonna lose more than they're gonna gain. Cause I know, like, for me, my opinion of Tesla, they need to back out and apologize immediately. The fact that this scenario even happened, it makes you think twice about Tesla. Now, I would never buy a Tesla car. I'm not buying a vehicle anytime. But, you know, generally Tesla has a good reception. People may be skeptical of how they're going to help, but for the most part, it is a positive reception. But stuff like this could easily change that.
Yeah, I just want self-driving so I can sleep on the way to wherever I'm going.
Now, the next topic I have, we talked about scams in the bad context. I want to show you This isn't even really a scam, but this is, to me, this is a kind of scam in a good way. I appreciate this kind of scam. This is hilarious to me. Let me pull it up. Here you go. It's really simple.
Honk more, wait more?
Yeah. If you honk your horn while you're at a red light, the red light will stay red longer. So if you start a fuss, then you have to wait more. Stay on top of the latest engineering news. Enter your email address. Fuck
Fantastic.
you. No. At fuckyou.com. Please check your inbox. Please check your inbox, sir.
We've sent you something.
Yeah, they said. I hope someone just got something. They're like, what the fuck is this? That'd be amazing. See, this is why you don't tell me to type in emails. I fuck around. Yep. So yeah.
I always typed in my friend's email.
What a dick. What a dick.
I can't tell you how many times he's messaged me. I keep getting these fucking emails. What emails, dude? Man, they're always for some dumb shit. I swear to God, I don't know who the fuck's doing it. I don't know either, dude. Damn. Who'd ever do that?
So this is happening in Mumbai. You know Mumbai? That's a place you know, right? You know Mumbai.
Like, you say Mumbai? Or I can't like under...
Mumbai, yes. M-U-M-B-A-I.
Okay, yeah, I know about Mumbai.
Yep. Densely populated city on India's west coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they're testing a new traffic light that stays red longer when drivers honk, because they have a honker problem. And the project has a very smart and simple name, the punishing signal. They connected decibel meters to a signal's poles around Mumbai. If the decibel levels ever went over 85 decibels, which would be fucking... That'd be something. That's pretty loud. The signal would reset and the light would stay red for longer.
Damn.
Apparently there's a video. I don't know. I'm gonna proof this video first to see if it's anything worth actually watching. Ah. Let's see. Let me get it to a point. It's like, okay. This is some fucking trash quality video. Can I go to Twitter and make it a better quality video? Embedded. It was not good.
The signal would reset.
It still looks pretty trash, not gonna lie, but we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna put it up in a moment. I'm curious what this could possibly be. It doesn't really need sound. I'm not playing. Well, I mean, I can.
What is the music?
बजाओ बजाओ और जोर से बजाओ और रुको.
Holy shit. It has a 90-second time, and then you can literally see it reset. That is hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. It has a literal 90-second time. And it shows you how loud you are. And then it shows you it resetting the time. That's great.
That is fantastic.
That's the kind of trolling I want in life. That's the kind of trolling I want. Whoever did that, yeah, those people should be proud of
That
themselves.
is, if you don't mind waiting.
Yeah, feel free to honk if you don't mind waiting. Honk responsibly. That's amazing. That's 10 out of 10. Wes approved. I 1000% approve that idea. This is hilarious. I love it. This is what I want to see from people. So, obviously this is going to upset a lot of honkers, but someone asked a simple question. I'm curious how you're going to feel about this. What if, for example, you were driving a car in front of me and I'm behind you and I just decide, what if info deserves to wait at this red light? And I just start honking and I just keep my hand on the horn. And it keeps, and then I'll let the time go back down from 90. I'll let it get to like 5, and I'll start honking again and cause it to keep resetting on you. What's your solution for that?
I'm gonna get out and just shoot the lot.
I thought you'd just shoot the person.
Oh, I guess that works too.
I mean, that stopped the honking.
I mean, it would, but why shoot the person when I can just shoot the light and then we all get to go?
Well, technically, you'd want to shoot the decibel reader, wherever that is on the light.
That could work too. I mean, if it's push comes to shove here, that's what we got going on.
Yes.
Then I feel like my best option here is to just say fuck it and floor it. If the man in front of me is and the light's just like nope, I could get out and I could theoretically shoot the man and then I catch a case. I could theoretically shoot the light and then the government wants me to catch a case. But if I floor it,
then
they're just gonna give me a ticket.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
Now, let me pitch this to you. You don't want to be charged with murder. What if you just beat the shit out of the person? Wouldn't that be about the same as the ticket?
That would be assault charges, yes.
Is that how India works? Is that how Mumbai works? Do we know Mumbai law? Let's see. What is Mumbai law? Let's see. A quick search did not tell me what I wanted to know. Yeah, that did not tell me why they wanted to know it all. That's very unfortunate. But I definitely think that this is how you deal with situations. You gotta troll people.
I mean, I definitely agree. I'm okay with the trolling.
I think they should keep it.
I do too, but at the same time, if I got ice cream in my car and it's melting because some asswad in front of me is honking his horn to reset this thing, he's not going to get a very friendly response.
Then you give them the ice cream.
Oh, I'm going to give them a lot more than that. They're getting a lot more than that.
That's fair. I can't argue that. That would be a very fair point.
Never know, might inject them with the coronavirus.
Oh boy. Do they have that in Mumbai?
They will when I'm done.
Fuck. Oh, fuck.
I will quarantine this car and I will corona him.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's your right as a person.
I agree. That's why I said the best option is to just floor it. And if there's not room, that's why you have the bulldozer O-matic on the front of your car.
Exactly. Exactly.
You make the room. I believe they're called bull bars, actually.
Fair. Fair. Now, are you aware of what Juul is? Juul? Juul?
The freaking vape bullshits?
Yeah, the e-cigarette maker. They bought online advertisements on teen-focused websites for Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and 17 magazine after it launched its product in 2015, according to a lawsuit filed on Wednesday. And the allegations in this lawsuit stem from a more than year-long investigation contradict repeated claims by the Juul executive that the company never intentionally targeted teenagers, even as its product became enormously popular among high school and middle school students in recent years. Now, me being only 21, about to be 22 soon, I can speak for this. When e-cigarettes became a thing in high school for me, because that was the age it was getting popular, they were fucking everywhere. You couldn't go to the bathroom anymore without like 5 people having their e-cig out. People would have it out in class, trying to sneak it by the teacher. E-cigs became a legitimate thing in high school for me. That was the thing that was around me at all times. So, it was clearly, to me, somewhere it was targeted, and if it... And, I mean, Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, whatever the 17th magazine thing is. I mean, it all makes sense. It makes sense how the thing happened. The Attorney General's office said that those ad purchases began in June of 2015 when the product launched and continued into 2016. Juul had the ability to put certain websites onto a blacklist that would prohibit ads from appearing there, according to the Attorney General's office. But the company chose not to do that. A Juul spokesperson said in an emailed statement that while we have not yet reviewed the complaint, we remain focused on earning the trust of society by working cooperatively with attorney generals, regulators, public health officials to combat underage use. Over the past year, Juul has faced a hail of criticism and regulatory scrutiny over its role in what public health officials call an epidemic of teenage nicotine addiction. And in addition to the online ad purchases, the lawsuit alleges that a marketing firm Juul hired ahead of its 2015 launch initially proposed an advertising campaign that would have positioned the firm as a technology company that had invented products that were better than cigarettes, and contrasted the Juul vaping device with items such as boomboxes or retro mobile phones that are recognizable to adults with the tagline, "Everything changes eventually." Juul rejected that campaign, according to the lawsuit, and instead chose a strategy meant to win with the cool crowd in critical markets, choosing to promote fashionable young people, frequently in a sexually provocative context. Images from the marketing campaign in 2015 were used in the banner and video tags as meant used on the Teen Focus website, according to the lawsuit. Juul had previously said the early marketing campaign targeted young adults in their 20s and early 30s, not teenagers, but that it had regretted the style of the advertising in hindsight. The company in recent months has tried to revamp its image as it faces a critical May regulatory deadline with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In September, it brought on a new chief executive officer who is a veteran of Marlboro maker who has restructure the company around gaining approval to sell its products in the United States. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I think the whole situation is just crazy. I mean, it's got nicotine in it. Make it the appropriate age. I mean, they can say what they want, but clearly they knew teenagers try to smoke. They sneak out, they smoke or whatever. So introducing a vape pen that's marketed as safe or whatever is clearly going to appeal to these people, because then they're going to be like, oh, well, it's harmless. It's not like cigarettes. And, obviously teenagers are going to try and get it to smoke it. And then, the trendsetters are going to be like, oh man, it's so cool. And then, they're going to be buying it. And then you got the kids that are like, oh, bro, and they're going to buy it too.
Absolutely.
And so, like, you're just going to have all these different groups that are going to be buying it. And they knew who they were appealing to. They can say whatever they want, but they knew that teenagers was going to be the majority buyers of this, aside from the older crowd that, just for whatever reason wanted them. And that's essentially what happened here. And yeah, they definitely should have put measures in place. They should have been like, this is not marketed to teens. Do not let teenagers buy this.
Exactly.
And, yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't.
Pretty much.
On a side note, in terms of juuling and vaping and stuff like that, it got my buddy out of a traffic ticket.
How's that?
Because his vape pen's so big that the police officer was impressed by it and didn't give them a ticket.
Oh.
And his vape pen's about the size of your arm, and yeah, roughly. Like from like a little bit above the elbow going all the way down is about how long it is, and just a little bit like not quite as round as your arm. And as such, police showed up. He was getting ready to give because my buddy wasn't driving. His name's Tyler. He wasn't driving. The friend Zach was driving, and Zach was like, "Man, I'm fucked. If I get another ticket, it's game over." And as I was getting ready to give him the ticket, he saw it back there in the back seat in Tyler's lap. And he said, "Son, what is that?" Tyler said, "It's my vape pen." And the cop's like, "Bullshit, ain't no vape pen." And Tyler's like, "Yeah, it is. You want to see me hit it?" One thing led to another. The cop's like, "Dude, that's impressive." So he actually called his buddy or whatever that was on the same route as him. He said, "You got to come see this thing." So then his cop buddy showed up, and they're both sitting there like, "Dude, look at this freaking vape. What do you do with that?" And Tyler's like, "Well, I compete with it. I go to vaping competitions." And they were so impressed with it. They was just like, "Hey, y'all have a good day. We're out of here." And they got in their car and left and didn't give him the ticket.
Fair. That's how you do it. It's how you just distract them and win. You had to impress them somehow. They did it. They impressed them. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I don't know what he was. If that had been me, they'd have just given me a ticket and went about their day.
I have a new question for you. If you don't have any more thoughts on that. Well, it's not a completely new question, but what drugs have you been in person around? What drugs have you seen for yourself in real life?
Like, that I've seen someone take, or that I've just seen?
That you've seen. It can be both, but what you've seen. What have you seen?
I've seen pot. I've seen weed, obviously, if you can count that as a drug anymore.
Well, it's not just because it's legal in certain places doesn't mean it's not a drug. This is a drug. Caffeine's a drug. Doesn't mean it's bad.
I've seen pot. I've seen acid tablets. I have seen. I've seen mollies. I've seen different assortment of pills for that matter. I have seen cocaine, and I didn't see it, but one of the guys that I knew brought meth to school and a needle to shoot up in the bathroom, but he got caught. I never seen it with my own eyes. He got detained before I seen it and before he could go to the bathroom.
He got snitched on.
Well, more like it fell out of his pocket as he was going down the hallway.
Dummy.
And it just so happened that the correctional officer over the school was in the hallway, and it fell. And when it fell, the officer seen it, and he's just like, "Son, you're going to have to come with me." And that was all she wrote.
Rip.
Yeah, so I never seen that. I didn't actually see it, but I have seen the previous things.
That's fair.
Oh, I've also seen shrooms.
I've only seen pot. And my only real thoughts on it, being around it for the period I was, which was not long, I'm not going to give any hints as to which state it was, Tennessee or Alabama. Either way, it's illegal. So I'm not, I don't know, and I don't care about the statute of limitations on any of that nonsense. I'm giving absolutely no hints as to where or whom had it. Wasn't me. I don't do drugs. My drug is caffeine. That's my drug of choice. But my only real thought was, it just smells bad. It just smells bad, man. I'm not a fan. It smells terrible. That was my conclusion from it.
It does stink. I don't know how people smell it and be like, "Oh, this stink stuff's good stuff, dude." Like, I don't understand it. It stinks to high hell, in my opinion.
It really does.
I've not exactly been around like people. I've been around plenty of people that smoked it. I have. Most of my friends are potheads, and they make edibles and everything else. They just are their potheads.
Yeah, I have no problem with people that smoke pot or anything like that. It's just not for me, man. Ain't for me.
The crack or whatever, my buddy actually had that. He didn't snort it. He didn't sell it. It was given to him by his uncle on accident.
Yep.
His uncle was going to give him a the story of what actually ended up happening or whatever was, you know what a goodie packet is?
No. I
They're
do
these
not.
things that you can buy at Walmart. They're for headaches. They're called goodie packets. They're basically just ibuprofen, but not ibuprofen. They're just type of medicine. And as such, he was going to give my buddy a goodie packet, and he had them in like little baggies or whatever, and he gave him the wrong baggie.
Huh.
Yeah. It was also a time period where my other buddy, his dad got arrested because he decided to try and hide his cocaine in the washing machine. Didn't work. They got washed into the clothes. That's how he got caught. They went to school. My buddy went to school with the cocaine on his clothes, and the teacher caught it immediately. Like, hey, what's that white stuff all over your shirt? I don't know.
Alright, so. Because I'm a multitasker at heart, I may have found something for us to look at. Let's see. This is a 32-second video. Found it on Twitter just now.
Okay.
And without giving any context, I don't know how loud I need it to be. I'll just put it like right there. Because it'll probably be... either it'll be very quiet or very loud, and I can adjust it accordingly. So... as you can see, well, you can kind of see, this is someone... the woman has her seat reclined way back into his space. So his response is to just fuck with the chair.
She's giving no fucks.
Yeah, she's given no fucks.
That is hilarious.
So yeah, the dude in the last seat on the plane, seat doesn't recline, hers does, she reclines. He's upset and is punching her seat repeatedly. So she records, who is right, who is wrong. Who is right, who is wrong.
I mean, if he asked her to move her seat, like, if he asked her to, hey, can you move your seat up some, it's too far back, and she didn't, she's in the wrong. If he didn't and he just started rocking her seat like that, he is. You always ask first.
So this, you need more context to determine who's right and wrong here. That's your verdict. I'm gonna say that the person in the wrong is both of them. Because one, she seemingly doesn't like it enough to record it, but she's not actively doing anything about it. Because his problem is obviously that the seat's too reclined. Her problem is he's fucking with the chair. The solution to both are the exact same solution. You just gotta stop reclining that far back, and then the problem is resolved.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. That would be the resolution here. Off with both their heads.
Yep. Off with their heads.
Off with their heads. That's the policy on BS Back in the Shed. When in doubt, just chop off both their heads. I think that's truly what's going to lead us to the future. Just cut off people's heads. So... I'm trying to decide between the remaining topics which one I want to go to. And Do you have a worst first date story?
Not really.
Well, this is gonna beat any story you or I could come up with. The headline is very simple. They met on a dating app. Then, he robbed a bank on their first date and forced her to be the getaway driver.
Damn.
A Massachusetts woman becomes an unexpected getaway driver after a man she met on a dating app robbed a bank on their first date. The unnamed woman's would-be Robin Hood pled guilty this week to arms robbery and 3 counts of assault and battery on a police officer, all committed on their first date in December of 2016. He was sentenced to 3 years in state prison for the robbery, plus 2 years in the Bristol County House of Corrections for violently struggling against and spitting on police who tried to subdue him, according to the district attorney's office. The woman wasn't charged. The worst date ever story was enough punishment. It all started, the woman told police, when she picked up this guy from his parents' home in Rhode Island and drove him 30 minutes east towards Massachusetts. She said he drank wine in the passenger seat of her Nissan Maxima, which is also illegal, but he wasn't charged with that one because the police here are so nice. The two had never met in person before that fateful day in 2016, she told police, so why would she think anything was wrong when he told her to pull over as they approached the bank? He got out of her car and left her there alone for a few minutes. Then suddenly, he came running back, sweating with sunglasses, a hat, a gun, and $1,000 cash in hand, the woman said. Fucking go, he told her. She panicked, she told police, so she did as she was told. The district attorney's office fills in the blanks on what happened while I was inside the bank. He walked inside the bank and showed the bank teller a gun. He demanded $1,000 and said he needed it badly. He was really hurting, he told the teller. The teller handed him the money, then he ran back out to his date and ordered her to step on it. But once she noticed flashing sirens, cruisers on their tail, she immediately pulled over and walked away from the car. To be fair, I feel like that's how you get shot.
I agree. It's easily how you get shot.
Police pulled the guy out of the date's car as he violently struggled, spit on them, and told him the gun wasn't loaded. After he was subdued and handcuffed, police searched the car and found a .44 caliber handgun, an antique belonging to that guy's stepfather, and the hat and sunglasses that matched the description of what the robber was wearing. Oh, and that $1,000 police found in his wallet. And years after the date from hell, this guy ended up sentenced to 5 years of incarceration. His date got off without a charge, probably with a healthy skepticism towards online dating. So, this is also something, if you use Tinder or whatever dating app you may use and you swipe, you're going to want to swipe left if you think that person would rob a bank.
What kind of sick game is that?
If you think this person would rob a bank, you got to swipe left.
Alright.
If they have that look in their eyes that they're going to murder someone, you swipe left. If that person has a picture of them holding up a fish, clearly they're a murderer. Swipe left.
I mean, how do I swipe? Just whoosh.
Yeah, swipe.
I mean, yeah, I can get behind that. It's weird, though.
Fair. So yeah, I don't think anyone here, you or I, are going to have that terrible first date story.
No.
Would you be the one to rob a bank while on your first date with a woman? Would that be you? Could this possibly be you?
No.
No? Gee.
No.
Gee. So, I don't really care about the specifics of this next topic, but scientists used a car splat test to determine that bug populations may have dropped by upwards of 90%. Have we ever thought that the bugs splatting on the windshield is probably why they're down 90%?
I'd say probably so, yeah.
So why are we using the car splat test when it's like, fuck?
Huh. That's a
Like,
good question. I don't know.
think about it. Like a decade ago, people always complained there was bugs on their windshield and they had to clean their windshield constantly. But because of the amount of vehicles on the road driving around, that's not really a big deal anymore because we fucking ran them all over. Yes, we fucking ran them over. Yes. We murdered them all. We're terrible people.
Murder.
Murder. So, do you initiate the car splat test? Is this something you utilize in your day-to-day life?
I mean, I suppose so. Maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff, to be honest. I've never really given any thought to it. But I guess.
You guess?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's helpful.
If only we'd kill all the stink bugs and ladybugs and bees and wasps. I don't give a fuck what value they have to the world. The world's dying anyway. We might as well get rid of the annoying creatures as well.
That's tough.
If the world is gonna burn down, we might as well make it enjoyable on the ride down.
Yeehaw, bitches.
Yeehaw. Yeehaw. A Texas teen was shot dead for defending classmate from bully days earlier. Police said on last Friday, a 16-year-old in high school student was shot and killed that Thursday at the apartment complex where he lived for standing up to a bully at schools days earlier. Police say it was just after 4:30 when this guy was shot outside of his home on the grounds of an apartment complex. The teen was rushed to a nearby hospital but was pronounced dead a short time earlier. The flags may have lowered. What the fuck does this statement mean? Sometimes I go to read a statement and it makes no sense, so I'm just gonna not read the statement, man. This guy was a sophomore who played on soccer teams around the area. He was helping a 15-year-old who was still in middle school, who was confronted, and he stopped this 15-year-old from assaulting another student. Police say security cameras captured the 15-year-old pulling a .40 caliber gun and shooting this guy. The juvenile suspect was arrested soon as the police watched the video. They are angry that a young man was killed for doing the right thing and that someone gave a 15-year-old access to a handgun. That's something they want an answer for, how the 15-year-old got the gun. This senseless act of gun violence has no place in society in our hometown community. This is an enormously tough case, blah, blah, blah. You know, the typical. And the police say the suspect and the victim knew each other, of course. And, yeah. A good teen steps up and helps a guy that was being bullied and he gets shot for it. That is some rough shit, man.
Man, what the fuck?
Some people are just fucked. And that kid that shot him is just fucked. Do you try him as an adult? I say at 15 you try them as an adult. You are aware enough of the world around
someone,
you.
Yes.
Yes. You shot someone at 15 while you're still stupid as fuck in life. You have enough situational awareness to know the consequences of what you did. So I'd try them as an adult.
I would too. That's 100% an adult thing that they were 100% aware of. That is not okay.
Absolutely. That. Some people are the worst.
They really are. Like, why, man? Why you gotta do that? This ain't cool.
Now, from a terrible dark topic to a father and homeowner turned the tables on a home invasion suspect and held him at gunpoint until deputies arrived. The incident happened last Thursday morning at a home. And, the officials say the homeowner was lying in bed when his wife and daughter returned home from a distance appointment, which By the way, dentist appointments are the worst. Dentists suck. A short time later, he heard his daughter scream and rushed to a room where he found an intruder. The report states the father then tackled the alleged home invader, identified as a 43-year-old, held him at gunpoint until deputies who were already in the area investigating other break-ins got to the scene. And the guy, of course, was arrested and charged with 4 counts of felony breaking and entering and 1 count each of attempted breaking and entering into a building, larceny from a building, and possession of stolen property. He was taken to the local detention center and placed under a $51,000 bond. And, you know, fuck. But hey, the father had it covered. Reasons to, you know, that's just a reason, you know? He had the situation handled. He had a plan, he executed the plan, and it worked. So good on the father.
Yeah, definitely. The thing that caught my attention most in that whole entire story was the police were investigating other break-ins.
Yes.
In the area.
They were already investigating the situation. And it just so happened that, what do you know? They figured it out. It's definitely, this guy was ready for it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, you know? And this happened in North Carolina? That's interesting. It did.
Why am I not surprised at all?
About part A or part B?
Any of it.
Exactly.
It's in North Carolina, just...
North Carolina. Just stuff happens in North Carolina.
Dude, it does. Like, you can literally experience all 4 seasons in a single day. It's wild.
Fair.
Like, I remember there was one morning I stepped outside and it was snowing. By lunchtime, it started raining. Then come, like... It was, like, around 3 o'clock or so. The sun was shining just as bright as it could shine. Then evening time, the wind started blowing. And then at nighttime, it started snowing again. Literally got the whole seasonal cycle in a single day.
This is an abuse of power designed to manipulate federal...
Shout out to abcnews.go for autoplay and bullshit. Autoplay is the worst feature you could ever have on anything ever. And they not only autoplayed one thing, they autoplayed a second thing. And you cannot turn it off without pressing on it to link you there, and it removes you from the page you are on. Shout out abcnews.go. You're the worst.
This is an abuse of power.
You're the absolute worst. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. So, a Southern California man who made it his mission to track down the hit-and-run driver who killed his wife and mother of their 8 children led police to an 85-year-old suspect who was arrested. This woman died after a white Lexus struck her motorcycle last week. Her husband told the local news that he decided to search for the car that hit his wife. While at the intersection where the collision occurred, he said he spotted the entrance of an apartment complex. He said, "Something was on my heart tugging me, saying, you need to go in." As soon as he entered the complex, he saw a white Lexus with damage to the passenger side front door. His heart dropped. He called the police, and officers arrested this guy on suspicion of felony hit-and-run and vehicle manslaughter. Yeah, and, you know, it was the police sergeant confirmed his account and verified on the local newspaper. This guy said he was moved to act because the grief of losing his wife and mother of his children was overwhelming. When you have your older kids falling on the ground crying because they have no control, your younger kids waking you up in the middle of the night saying they missed you, it's a lot. And the family, of course, they started a GoFundMe account to cover the funeral expenses. So, good on him. Just like in the last story, someone had a plan, they executed it, and it worked. This guy had a plan, executed it, and it worked. So, we can at least be happy for that.
Agreed.
Now, another thing about this. Have we discussed what age we feel that there should be mandatory DMV testing when it comes to age?
No, we've never had this discussion before.
What are your thoughts? What do you think that number should be?
If the DMV was to actually force people to,
Yes.
you know, is this before or after learner's permit?
This is, you have your license, but you hit a certain age. So what age do you have to suddenly take an old person test to decide if you can still have your license and be legally allowed to drive?
I think, personally speaking, I think that what they should do is they should make you retake a big test every 20 years to make sure that you're still capable of driving. Period. Just because, let me tell you, there's some real dumbasses on the road.
20 is a long time, though. Let's say you do that when you're 18, you're 38, you're 58, and then from 59 until you're 78, you're good to go. That 20 years is a long time.
It is a long time, but I mean, I feel like if you do it too often, though, it would just piss people off.
It should be people off. There should be less people on the road.
Okay, I can get behind that. I can agree with that. There should be less people on the road, but this ain't the way to do it.
All right, how about this? We pop 7 people's tires at random every day across all cities.
I'm alright with that. I'm okay with that. They can't go nowhere if they ain't got a tire.
Exactly. You pop a random. You don't know who the person are. You just take a chance. Maybe it's a good driver. Maybe it's a bad driver. You just pop 7 people's tires randomly.
The Purge Tire Edition.
Yes. Only one vehicle can survive. This is the Hunger Games, except it's for vehicles.
Only one car left on the road. Shall we drive out of here?
Yes.
I swear, dude.
I guess you could turn that into like NASCAR, but the race keeps going. There is no lap number. It's just until everyone else has wrecked.
Just periodically, you just hear puff up, tire pops.
And then they crash, and then they're out.
That'd be great.
The Hunger Games NASCAR edition. That's what they should do.
I'd watch it.
Exactly. You'd get new viewers, because people, it's not about making a left turn anymore. It's about who can outlast the remaining people.
Yep.
So, Sonic and the Hedgehog, the movie, you know. We remember the original trailer, don't we? Where poor Sonic was messed up all to hell, and then they had to fix it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, the director, the film's director, had spoken about his worries following the significant redesign of the characters undergone. He said, I think it had been about 5 months that had passed since the first trailer. We had worked very hard on our updates to the character. It was definitely a little bit of like, oh man, what happens if they don't like this? But really, everyone that saw it internally, as I was working on the film, this responded so positively. I really feel like once we shared it with the fans, they would really embrace it and be excited about it. Fortunately, any anxiety that this director had the night before passed really quickly once it was released, because, yeah, it was such an incredible feeling to see Sonic 2.0 get embraced the way it was. As great as it is for him to have his powers, it just felt really interesting to have the other side of that, where his powers are also what's forcing him to live in this very isolated way outside of the small town of Green Hill. And for that to actually create a little bit of a challenge for him to overcome it emotionally, that's just felt like a really great place to start. And, you know, imagine how stressed you would have been had you did the first design. You think, oh, I wonder how this is going to be received. You release it, and everyone fucking shits on it.
I love how hypocritical movies can actually be, and the critics that actually review them. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really like on topic with the thing, but it's just like hearing some of that. It just kind of makes me think like you got these movies that are just complete garbage. They make them constantly, like the Fast and the Furious movies. They've gotten to the point where they're just trash at this point, and
Make good trailers though.
they do. The trailers are amazing, but the
They
movies
give
are
us
just not that
copyright
great.
claims on YouTube.
They do, and then they turn around and the critics are like, "Oh, look at this amazeballs movie," and everybody knows it ain't that great. And then like the last few Star Wars movies they've been in the shitter. Look at these amazeballs Star Wars movies. Oh, praise! Like, no, fuck off. And it's like, and then when a genuinely good movie comes out, they're like, "Man, this shit bad, avoid it." And it's just like, come on, it's some bullshit.
What's the movie that you felt that happened to lately?
Well, okay, so as for movies getting bombed, I'm not really too certain because I don't really watch like a whole lot of movies. But like again, the Star Wars movies, they were decently rated and they shouldn't have been at all. And it's just the DC movies. I would be willing to go on a limb here and say because they were, I don't know, I feel like they got unfairly rated in certain ways because I feel like the DC movies aren't that great, but they're not bad.
I swear, I am in the top 5% when it comes to how much someone liked Suicide Squad, that movie. I really like that movie. I still rewatch it. I like it. But everyone else hates it.
I didn't think it was that bad either. I liked it too.
Yeah.
But everyone says it's trash. I did. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again sometime. And it just, the movie got shit on for no reason. There's literally no reason that it dunked on. So everyone's like, oh, and worst part is when you ask them why it's bad, they can't give you an answer. I've never gotten a straight answer from anyone as to why the movie's bad, other than the Joker. That's the main point that I always hear. The Joker's bad, but he wasn't the whole movie.
He's
was not the
literally
whole
such
movie.
a small part of the movie. It's not Joker's Suicide Squad, really. It's Suicide Squad, and it's focused on the Suicide Squad, and that's not Joker.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I didn't like the Joker's character either, but it wasn't nowhere near enough for me to say, "Oh, this movie's bad. Avoid it."
You know, the movies I generally say get bombed, it has nothing to do with the actual movie. It has to deal with political stuff or political-esque topics.
That too.
For example, you can name like a Captain Marvel, a Black Panther, where it's not this straight white lead, a male. You gotta include male as well. So you can clearly see those movies getting unfairly judged before they even release, and you can see after its release, there is bias there. It's very unfortunate, but you can absolutely see it. It happened with Captain Marvel. It happened with Black Panther. What was the other one? Did it happen with Wonder Woman? I don't remember.
I'm not really sure.
I don't remember if it happened with Wonder Woman. I know it for a fact it happened with Black Panther and Captain Marvel. It's really a shame when that stuff happens. But I mean, review bombing before a movie in general is just not really a good idea, in my opinion, at all.
Dude, I hate people that review bomb anything. Like, it's so dumb. Kind of like, I mean, I know that this isn't really, a person that you yourself kind of care about, but recently M from Cromwell Gaming or whatever, in his server brought up how he made a video that I guess made someone mad, and they dislike bombed every one of his videos that he had, and everyone that was releasing, they continuously dislike bombed them. And I don't think that's entirely fair. I mean, M didn't technically do anything wrong. He just gave his opinion in a video. It doesn't warrant him getting dislike bombed like that. That's ridiculous.
I absolutely agree. It fucking sucks. Like, one, to address the first part of your statement, because I feel like that kind of threw me under the bus a little bit.
It wasn't meant to be. I'm sorry.
A little bit. I'm not really offended or hurt by it at all, but just for the record, I mean, I'm neutral. I'm very neutral.
I know you're neutral. What I meant when I said that was it was kind of like a you wouldn't care about the topic itself, like me using that as an example. It wasn't
I can feel for M because it's like, I know Doom Eternal's a great video example of a crime art gaming video that got a baffling reception. People just shit on it. He's gotten so many hate comments just from that video, and I know that's spread over. I know that's... And then seeing him get dislike bombed on other videos that have nothing wrong with them, it's very sad to see. I don't enjoy seeing that at all. It happened to me at one point. I didn't have a controversial video at all, but because I was a YouTuber's moderator and I was more... When there were less mods on the team, it was very clear who was doing what. Who was warning people, who was getting rid of people. And those problem people fought back by dislike bombing my original Let's Play channel, and they legitimately killed the momentum of it. And I never recovered on YouTube. I could never recover. Regardless of how many channels I made, how many times I tried to rebrand, how many times I tried whatever. They killed it. They killed my YouTube run, which, whatever. But, yeah, dislike bomb. It's not the dislikes. People say, oh, likes and dislikes are the same. They are the same to the YouTube algorithm. That's not the part that hurts. The part about dislike bomb that hurts, they're not watching the whole video and then disliking it in those situations. They're watching for the minimal amount of time that YouTube will count, and then they're disliking it. And they're doing that repeatedly to a video, and then they do it to all your videos. Your momentum can get fucked that way. So, it's very shitty.
It is. And no one deserves it. Nope. No one at all deserves it.
Nope, not at all. Not even a little bit.
No. And it wouldn't be so bad if they would at least watch the video, because it's still interaction, but they don't.
You're allowed to leave a dislike on a video if you dislike it. I mean, that's... You leave dislikes as a troll. Yeah, the dislike is a thing. And then, I mean, preferably, if you really disliked the video, you should comment and explain why you disliked it. That way the creator can improve, or maybe it's just because you have a different opinion and you dislike their opinion on it, and that's why you left your dislike. That's fine. Let the person know. That way they can at least... They can understand why the dislikes happened. But, yeah. Crime or gaming, Moriarty has to deal with a lot of bullshit on YouTube, and it fucking sucks, man.
They do.
It sucks. Do we know if that's poured over to Twitch, or is Twitch... Have they split that off enough to where it's not crossing over for them?
Now that I'm not sure.
I mean, they can't do the exact same thing on Twitch. I mean, honestly, there's nothing they can really do on Twitch like they can with YouTube. Twitch isn't that fickle. Like, you popping in and leaving doesn't hurt a person's stream. Really?
Does it not?
I mean, if like 80 people hopped in this podcast and viewed it right now, and then they all left, that doesn't hurt your channel. I mean, sure, it sucks that 80 people just came and they left, but that doesn't hurt you at all. If anything, your average viewership may go up for the few minutes that they're there. So, I mean, if anything, it helps you more than it hurts you. The only real thing you can do to a streamer, and they're cutting back, they're fighting against that nowadays, at least more than they were, and they're going to continue to make pushes to stop it, is chargebacks. Chargebacks is generally the only way to really fuck with a Twitch streamer. That isn't just gonna get you banned, but I mean, they're working on stopping that from happening, and the streamer can take measures to try and avoid dealing with chargebacks as well. So it's all about people being careful.
Yeah, it is, and people aren't at all.
But yeah, I mean, at least that's kind of the positive thing, because I don't know if it's still like this, but I know back a couple years ago that Twitch was definitely the better moneymaker for Crymore. I don't know if that's still true. That's like 2017 info, but
I'm not sure. I'd have to ask him.
yeah, I would assume, depending. I don't really keep up with it, to be honest. I don't keep
either.
up with Crymore super hard.
I don't keep up with them at all. I barely talk on their servers. I just don't have time. I spend my time when I'm on Discord is in your server. Sometimes YouTubers mod chat, and there's like one other server that I kind of pop into to talk to the locals, and that's about it.
The locals. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, we live in these Discord servers, and we're just coming in to talk to the locals.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
We just talk to the locals. By the way, it's been 6.5 hours. Still no email back. Clearly, they're not going to handle it today. It's not top priority. Hashtag God bless.
So what exactly is it you want them to fix? Like, what exactly is broken about it? That's what I'm not understanding. Like, what's
all right. Let me think about this. Is there anything that I would show? Let me go to the page real quick and make sure it doesn't show anything that I wouldn't want shown. I don't think so.
If it does, we can do it after the podcast.
No, I'm checking it right now. I'm about to check it right now. I can go through the process real quick, and if it doesn't show anything bad, then I don't give a fuck. I'll show you. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's fine. That's also fine. This page. This would be the problem page. Yeah, this page is fine.
See, I normally wouldn't ask, but I've just been really confused about this whole thing. Like, I don't like. To me, I'm like, I've not experienced it myself, so I don't know what the problem actually is that you're experiencing.
All right, I will show everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I don't give a
Let's see.
fuck. Let's see. So, I want to join the YouTubers Twitch team, so I go to this page, which, this person's live. Good on them. They're playing Hollow Knight. Good on them.
Okay.
So you go right here, join the team here. You'd press on that. It puts you on this page. Congratulations. You're all YouTubers, of course, which I already had an account registered for my email that I'm logged into. Then it takes me here, YouTubers Twitch application. I do the authenticate to join the Twitch team. And, well, that didn't go as planned. The authorization is currently attached to the fan account, which is a different account that I have no fucking clue. I don't remember what the fuck this is. I don't fucking care, to be honest. And it says, please email the support if this is incorrect and needs to be resolved. Because it cannot be moved automatically. They have to manually do it. And so I just need them to switch the whatever authorization from whatever the fuck this account is. And I've tried, like, logging in with multiple emails, multiple different ways to see if I can figure out what the fuck fan account Wissocracy. And I can't find it. I have no the fuck idea. I can't make it work with any of them. So, yep. That's my issue.
What the fuck?
And the fact that I started the email at 9 a.m. Their last reply was 4 p.m. And I feel like this is like a 15-minute at max thing for them to do. This shouldn't be that hard. Especially when I gave them all the information. At 4 p.m., if it took them 15 minutes after that for them to do it, I'd get it. We'd be good. But they're so laughably terrible. Like, I have no obligation to praise them. I have no obligation to praise them. And my usage of them has not been good. So, I just want to do a simple thing. It's really simple. Yet, I can't do it. So, you know. It is what it is. Hopefully it's resolved soon. If it's not resolved tomorrow before I stream, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. There's no goddamn reason.
There's not.
Like, I get it. Maybe at 4, maybe everyone left at 5. So, the email was at 4. So maybe, whatever. Maybe they had things to do. Cool. But if tomorrow it's not resolved. I'm just gonna be pissed. Cause I've gone through the YouTubers Discord back in December. That got nowhere because they said they were on break and they never addressed it again. I have now emailed them. And that wasn't a one-day process, apparently. That takes multiple days, which is whatever. If this doesn't resolve it, then... oh well, get fucked.
I guess rip.
Yep.
That's absolutely absurd. I've actually dealt with a customer support like that. It was actually Disney movies. I bought a movie and the code was already used. They found the code attached to another profile. They told me to send an email in. I did. I got a email back saying we need you to take a picture and send us a picture of the movie, the case, and all this other shit. So I did. This ain't the correct information. We also need the spine number on the box as well, even though clearly you can tell that it's my fucking DVD. Okay, so I did. That's still not the correct information. Now we need you to send a piece of paper with your email and your name on it so we know it's you. I did that. This is still not the correct information that we need. We need you to write down all the name of the movie, the email, and all this stuff on the piece of paper and have it next to the movie. Okay.
Table flip.
Yep, so I did that. Send it in. This is not the correct information. That's all it said. And I was so ready to beat a bitch. And then I was pissed at this point. I was mad as hell. And then I emailed them back. I'm like, so what the fuck do you exactly want? I've sent in literally everything you've asked. Never got a reply back from that point on. Never did get my movie code. This was a span over 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just some fucking bullshit, man. Sometimes it's just very frustrating to deal with. It's really frustrating to deal with. But, you know. It is what it is, I guess. It just is what it is. That was the last topic I had for the night. Do you have any additional topics you'd like to discuss?
No, I can't really think of any, but I would like to say when we was talking about controllers earlier, I would like to point out I don't think the PlayStation controllers are actually the worst. I've changed my mind. I think Nintendo makes the worst controllers. None of their designs are actually any worth a damn aside from the GameCube one, made a little bit. And the Switch ones, the new ones that look like the Xbox controller, those two are the only two that look decent. The rest of them are just trash. I really wasn't thinking about that when I said that.
That's fair. I dig it. Hopefully, everyone has enjoyed this edition of the BS Podcast. Whether you're listening to it live, whether you're watching it on YouTube, or whether or not you're just on one of the many, many places you can find the podcast around the podcast directories. I think this was a good episode. We're going to have a guest next week, regardless of who the guest is. We will have a guest next week. We don't have one lined up yet, but new policy going forward. Since the last 2 weeks we flopped when we've been trying. Normally, because I stream Friday through Sunday, I generally don't focus my attention on finding a guest Friday through Sunday. Clearly that needs to change. Clearly I need to put every day into working on this. Because Monday to Thursday just isn't getting the job done. There's too many people that can't commit to it yet. That I gotta put in the other 3 days as well. So that's gonna be what changes. That's how we're gonna get our next guest. I'm gonna work harder and every day. So yeah, that's what's coming up next. Episode 58 will have a guest. Don't know who it is, but there will be a guest. And I feel like the lighting, this ring light, is much better than the 2 lamps.
I kind of agree. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think this looks really good. Like, I'm sure I could still tweak it and make it a little bit better. But as is, I like this a lot.
you could try turning it up. Like, what exactly? You could try turning it up a notch, like we had at the start or whatever when you was fiddling with it, and then put some paper in front of it to see what it does. But I like it how it is personally.
Yeah, I mean, I could turn it up like that and then do something else, or yeah. And then I could mess with it in OBS as well. But yeah,
I think that looks fun.
one of the two. You know, the difference it makes. And I was concerned that maybe the ring light would hurt my eyes more than the two lamps. Not really. If I had it up at full blast the whole time, yeah, that'd hurt my eyes. But as is, this takes up way less. Like, after we're done with this, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to post it on the Discord of what the ring light is and how it's positioned versus the two lamps. And you'll see how much better this is for me.
All right.
But yeah, that's been BS Back in the Shed episode 57. I appreciate everyone that stopped by. I appreciate that we're 57 episodes in. I appreciate Info being on, once again, my favorite co-host.
Favorite implies there's another. I will combat this person to the death.
I want to see that. All I know is right after we end the stream, I'm going to download the epic free games. And everyone else probably should as well if you don't own them. Because who can argue against free? Free is good. Peace out, everyone.
Goodbye.